Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night, which means it's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We're also live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen and via TuneIn. If you want to contact the show, do so via social media, Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. We have email, radio@widnesworld.co.uk. We have the phone 01928 835 291 and text 07716 672 874. Start your message with TTGW or messages charged at your standard network rate. I hope you're all ready because it's time to go wild.
A very warm welcome, everyone. It's Monday. Yes, it means it's time to go wild time once again here on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. And tonight I am joined by a dynamic duo of Andy Witchley. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Carl. You all right?
Hi, and our very own dynamic man of ice and everything else that he likes to do. It's Barry Sprakes.
Evening.
Hiya, Baz. Oh, well. Before we get into the scores, last night, very different style of game than we've had for the last couple of games, wasn't it? It was skating and more skating.
If we'd have done that the other week, played the same, I think that would have been a different result. I mean, last night was it just showed the determination and effort every single person put in.
It was, I think it was just both teams played a very open skating game, so... you saw a significant difference in that, I think.
It was definitely a very lonely night in the penalty box,
I'll
be honest.
I mean, you only had one penalty to cope with all night.
Yeah, it went from the absolute carnage of the previous week with calling the clocks back and filled penalty boxes to absolutely nothing all night. It was quite bizarre, but it was a good game to watch.
Yeah, it was. Well, let's get on with the scores. Here we go. Time for your weekly roundup of scores from across the Elite Ice Hockey League and EIHA-related leagues. Starting on Wednesday in the Elite Ice Hockey League. Cardiff Devils 5, Glasgow Clan 2, Fife Flyers 1, Belfast Giants 3. On Friday, Fife Flyers 5, Milton Keynes Lightning 2. On Saturday, Coventry Blaze 0, Cardiff Devils 2, Glasgow Clan 5, Guildford Flames 3, Manchester Storm 4, Dundee Stars 2, Milton Keynes Lightning 4, Nottingham Panthers 3 after a shootout, Sheffield Steelers 4, Belfast Giants 1. On Sunday, Belfast Giants 5, Manchester Storm 2, Cardiff Devils 6, Sheffield Steelers 0, Nottingham Panthers 4, Fife Flyers 3 after overtime, Dundee Stars 4, Coventry Blaze 3, Guildford Flames 2, Glasgow Clan 1 after overtime. Into EIHA Women's Premier League action for Saturday. Sheffield Shadows 1, Chelmsford Cobras 4. On Sunday, Nottingham Vipers 10, Whitley Squaws 4. EIHA Under-13s North 3 action from Saturday. Grimsby 3, Nottingham 15, Deeside 5, Widnes 3. NIHL North Cup action from Friday. Sheffield Steel Dogs 6, Telford Tigers D1 2, and the return leg on Saturday. Telford Tigers D1 3, Sheffield Steel Dogs 1. The final being the aggregate score: Sheffield Steel Dogs 7, Telford Tigers D1 5, meaning Sheffield Steel Dogs win the NIHL North Cup. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Saturday. Blackburn Hawks D1 4, Nottingham Lions 0, Solway Sharks 19, Sutton Sting 0. On Sunday, Whitley Warriors 2, Sheffield Steel Dogs 9, Sutton Sting 4, Solway Sharks 6, Billingham Stars 2, Blackburn Hawks D1 9. Moving to NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action. All from Sunday. Dragons 3, Telford Tigers D2 6, Altrincham Aces 6, Sheffield Senators 8, and Widnes Wild 11, Hull Jets 3. Come back for more next week.
I've caught up with Big Biff Mike Maher after the Widnes Wild were taking on the Hull Jets at Planet Ice. Widnes Wild put that game into words.
Yeah, it was a good game. I think first period was quite tight, and the second, then in the third we stepped it up a gear, and yeah, that's the way the game went tonight. Hull couldn't keep up, and I think we owe them one after playoffs last year. We went behind, and then a sloppy result against them at their barn this year. So yeah, it's good to get that one over them. Yeah.
It was a bit of a wake-up in the first period, bit of a defensive snooze moment. They took the first goal, but then came back quick, didn't we?
Yeah, we bounced back well tonight. Head stayed up. We know the end is close now, so we just got to keep pushing, and yeah, great result overall.
You've been managed to put a few goals in of recent, a few extra assists. That's making you feel a bit more relaxed on the ice?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I don't contribute on the points very often, but this year I've been getting a few, so I can't complain there. And then a few assists tonight, so happy days.
It's weeks to come, 4 games to go. It's 4, isn't it? Yeah. Or was it 3? 3 to go. Yeah, I should know my maths. Yeah. So it's Altrincham and 2 D sides. How do you feel things are in the dressing room?
Yeah, confident. The dressing room's real good. It's the best we've had in 3 years, to be honest. We all know what we want, and we just got to keep working together to get that. And you couldn't rate it against our rivals, Altrincham and D side, to hopefully square off the remainder of the season. So that'll be good.
Last weekend in Altrincham, that was a bit of a battle, but then came good in the end.
Yeah. You were always expecting that in Altrincham. I think we face some tough tests because everything's a derby and everyone wants to beat Widnes, especially in our own rink. They like playing in front of the fans here, so we always have a tough one, but we always come out on the good side of things.
I mean, compared to the last home game against Telford, it was a bit more of a clutch and grab, scrappy but very gritty hockey game. This one was a lot more open skating, 8 minutes of penalties across the entire game.
Yeah, I think we can adjust quite well. Some games this season we've been quite sloppy on the penalty front, but today, Ollie said before the game he didn't want any penalties. We only took a few minor ones, and I think it shows on the scoreboard this evening. So.
Well, it's a tense couple of weeks to come, but I think it's looking good towards the end of the season. We've got Altrincham at home next. A few words now for the fans.
Yeah, so the fans have been massive all year, and they're part of the reason we're in the position we're in. So would love the support to keep rolling. Let's pack this place out next week and hopefully create some history in Widnes.
Well, thanks for joining me. Have a good week, and we'll catch up with you after the Altrincham game.
Cheers, Carl. Thanks.
I've caught up with Dan Bracegirdle. Well, Dan, that was a pretty goal tonight for you.
Thank you very much. Like you said, don't get many of them, but it was nice to stick one in finally this season.
Bit of a shame, could have been the game winner, but wasn't to be. But even so, good game for tonight, I think.
Been the game winner. I think it'd been a bit more of a nervy game, that one. I think it was. At the minute, it was a close one, and at the end of the day, I don't think either performance was close to each other, was it? I think we outshone them quite a lot tonight. It was a very good performance across the whole team.
I mean, game winner is often defined as the one that gives you the 1 goal difference. So if it had been 2 for them, that third goal would have been the one that counted.
It'd have been nice, I suppose. I'd like to say it's just nice to chip in. I don't mind if it's the game winner, if it's comes at number 10, 11, 12. It's nice to chip in at some point eventually.
So how's things feeling? You had a long spell on the sidelines, and but since you've been back, you've been looking really fresh and playing well.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's good to come in. Well, I say it's good to come in halfway through the season. It's not. It's good to come in halfway through the season and be fresh when some of the boys might be feeling it a bit or something. But no, it's a shame that I missed the start of the season on a personal level. It would have been nice to play the full season with the lads, not have to be under pressure to a certain amount of games towards the end of the year.
So you're looking forward to the next couple of weeks now?
Yeah, well, we've got a week off now, I think, haven't we? Then to me, I'm away for the next 2, so I make it back for the last game of the season against D-side, which, though again, it'd have been nice to have been here to lift the trophy, but like Sheriff's signalling at me now, I think hopefully it'll be lifted by then. It'll be sorted by then. It'll be wrapped up, won't it? So it'll be a bit of a pill to swallow to be away when it happens.
Yeah, even so, I mean, that last game of the season against D-side, it's going to be a lively one no matter what.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, hopefully, like I say, it doesn't go down to that last game of the season, but if it does, they'll come in here dying to stop it happening, won't they? So yeah, it will be a feisty one. If it has happened, I still don't see it taking any intensity out of it, to be honest.
So as you say, everything's feeling good. You're looking all fresh. The squad's looking pretty gelled together.
Yeah, like I say, I am feeling fresh, yeah, but it doesn't look like anybody. The season's taking its toll on anybody out there, does it? Everybody's looking good. Everybody's looking ready to go. We've had 1 or 2 games where we've hit a stumbling block maybe, but other than that, every game we've looked good.
Well, we'll let you get rested, get ready for your little break, but
cheers.
We'll look forward to seeing you when you're playing against D-side.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you then as well. Cheers.
Well, there we go. It was a bit of a very, very chalk and cheese from the previous game at home against Telford, and of course the away leg in Altrincham, wasn't it, Barry?
Yeah.
It's how from somebody who watches, plays, how do you sort of rate those different kinds of games?
I mean, sometimes you can come into a game thinking that's the worst thing to do, though. Come into a game thinking you've got it. Every game's got to be taken as a blank card. Yeah. Every single game. And
how do you read it when you're on the bench? You're actually not watching it from behind, through the glass or over the glass. You're actually watching it from within the actual team environment. I
got shouted at a couple of times last night because I was watching the game too much and forgetting to open the door. I think it was Chris G mainly.
Oh, he's big enough to jump over the barriers, isn't he?
He's big enough to make me open the door.
But I mean, for the penalty box staff, I mean, it was apart from goals at one point, it was quiet in the bin.
It was nice for a change, because as we said, the previous week's absolute carnage. You don't really get a chance to actually watch it, or you're watching a clock and you've got 2-3 players in there and you're missing stuff. I mean, like I said to you, not doing the penalty box last night, but I was in there and I do the barriers as well if we've got no one else, just for when the lads come off. And I completely missed a certain goal last night, which I'm sure we'll talk about, and didn't even realise, we'd gone in 3-1 up.
Yeah.
And probably one of the goals of the season because of who it was from, and I didn't even see it last night. The quietest game of the year.
He so rarely gets a goal, but that one was so quick. And I apologise to Big Biff because I can only put on the caption what's on the game sheet, and on the game sheet it said assisted Scott Cooper. But when you watch it back, it's straight from Mike Mauer's stick, straight to Bracey, and he's...
You can't get 2 people that look any different, could you? Cooper and Biff.
I think it's because they both got 4 on the back of their shirt. It's 84 and 14, so it's that's what, is it 84?
No, 85.
It's 85, isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say it's TJ who's 84. Yes, Tom Jackson's 84.
Say though, mate, if you're mixing up 84 and 14, I'll be seriously worried still.
Yeah. But that was my first thought actually when I was doing the caption. I thought, maybe they've just got the numbers mixed up, but no. But I mean, Cooper was out there, but it was a very sweet goal. That I think that was a tough one for goals.
He surprised himself as well, didn't he?
Yeah. What was that? His second or third in 5 years?
It's something like that. I do remember.
That's his first of the season.
Yeah. I think one of his nicest goals still has to be against D-side, where I thought there should have been blood pouring from his nose and his ears are sort of steam coming out because he was right on the edge of the crease instead of being on the blue line. And it's like a case of Bracey, why are you in front of their goal? Why are you right on the edge? Next thing the puck lands on his stick and she went tap, goal. We'll take that.
They all count.
Well, that's it. He's missed a lot of start of the season, didn't he, with the injury. He's come back, scored a goal now. He can have off till playoffs, and we'll see him then.
Well, break. As he said in the interview, he's not available until we play D-side in the last game of the season at home. So he's got other things.
So he really is. Having scored that goal, he's disappeared for a few weeks.
Glory boy, I suppose. But we'll let him off. Well, hopefully in a couple of minutes we're going to have a few words with Hull Jets coach, I should say, not player coach, Hull Jets coach Andy Dainted. So
while we get him on the line, we'll have a little break for a little bit of music. And actually, I'm going to change the song. We're going to have a song Andy was mentioned to me, wasn't it, Andy? And it's one that you just mentioned. Said, "Have I heard of it?" And I went, "Oh yes, I have." What was the song?
Well, it's played a lot in the NHL, and we did request it, but we never got it on match nights. So it's a bit of a ska number. It's Real Big Fish beer.
Well, hopefully on the line we have Hull coach Andy Daintith. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Cole.
Oh,
you all right, pal?
Brilliant. Good. Thank you for joining us. Well, as we were chatting off there before we came on, a bit of a tough drive over the Pennines after a defeat like that, but, your take on the game?
We didn't play well last night. In fact, we played dreadful last night. Our D's didn't play the way they can do. I think this is the first game this season that we've actually played bad. And it's always usually against Widnes at Widnes. No disrespect to you guys, but you've got fast forwards, and they can put the puck in the net. And if you don't turn up, they're going to put the puck in the net, and that's what happened last night. It's one of them things. You just adjust and you go back to your next game. As I say, that's the first game we played bad this season. We played well all season, and we were doing really well. And our discipline's been there and everything, but just nothing worked last night. And full credit to Widnes. They played well. They played very well.
Well, yeah. Looking at your penalty points tally this year, you've got significantly the lowest penalty minutes of the league, by nearly 200 points, I think. In 238 to 429. It's like I think we've been really disciplined this year, and I think the new ruling's quite adjusted quite well to us. A lot of teams have not adapted to this new ruling of the late hit. There's a questionables of teams who just don't adjust to it, and people say about the refereeing and stuff. You just take what you get on the night. You have a good night, you have a bad night, and it's just discipline sometimes wins your games. And as I say, last night it wasn't discipline or anything. We got beaten by a better side last night. We just didn't turn up, and we had some injuries. We had some key players weren't there last night, but you still don't take that on board. You still go with who you've got. We are still icing our junior systems and stuff. So we bowled well. We just as I say, we didn't play strong enough last night, and we defensively we were poor. And we talked about that, and the lads understood that. And I'm not blaming the D's, because you can't always blame the D's. It's a team effort. So going forward, we'll take it on the chin and we'll just move on. And we've got Coventry this weekend, so that's something we've got to change and get our mindset right. And hopefully our rink will be up and running, because I'm supposed to be there tonight, but I've got a night off tonight because the ice has gone down again. So I've got a night off. Ooh, I mean, looking at your run out for the season, you've got the Blaze, the Bulldogs, and the Dragons, and there's 3 other games that are sort of to be arranged, aren't there? Yeah,
we've had, obviously, as you know, we've had trouble with our ice pad at our place. That's why I'm not training tonight. With the rinks shut again tonight, they had a few technical problems last night, so we are training tonight. So I've got like a night off. So, but now we've got some tough games running in. But I think games that we're well capable of being. As I say, I think my team can beat anybody on the night. Last night we just, we've had close games against Widnes all the time. Our place 1-0, your place 3-1, and then obviously last night was just we just don't want to talk about last night, really.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, last night was an anomaly in terms of Jets Wild games of the last few years. I mean that 1-0 game over in Hull was a serious nail biter. I mean,
oh yeah, and when we beat you 4-2 our place, it was that was another turning point for us. So we know we can do it. We know the lads know they can do it, and that's what we talked about after the game. There's no point pointing fingers at each other. We didn't play well last night, and that's, as I say, you take it on the chin and you move on. But Widnes played well last night. As I say, the forwards are very strong, very fast, and they move the puck quick, especially on that small ice. You can go end to end within for 3 or 4 seconds, and you don't need. And like I said to the lads, I said, you can be down 2 goals and you can get 2 goals back within 2 minutes. That's happened to us before at your place. Well, especially in the playoffs.
That playoff game was one of the most remarkable ding-dong swingometer games that we've ever had, I think, and both teams played out of their skins in that. And
it was a great showcase, though, wasn't it, Col? It was a fantastic show. That was a final, that really was, and it wasn't a semi-final. It was a final game, But as I say, it was a cracking game, and to go out on penalty shots, it's you can't say you've lost the game because it's penalty shots. It's penalty shots. I still like it where you just go 3-on-3. Where you just go 3-on-3 for about 15 minutes until someone actually scores. I think that's the fairest way to go.
Yeah, it's a lottery when you do penalty shots, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean you can have your penalty. Your guy who's taking it can have scored 3 or 4, and he'll just won't score that particular night, and it happens. But as I said, I like the league to just go 3-on-3 until the game's actually finished, or go 15, 20 minutes 3-on-3 until someone actually scores. I think that's the way to end the game, to be honest. But I think that's another conversation.
So, I mean, looking at the league this year, I mean, it's been very competitive generally across the board. It's been a competitive league. I mean, how do you feel from the way that the Jets have performed with relation to everyone else?
As I said to you before, Col, I think on the night we've shown we can beat anybody. I mean, I rate Telford very highly. I think Callum's got a very very good side there. We took 7 points off them, and at the beginning of the season, in fact, like I said to the lads, if we'd have said at the beginning of the season we was going to take 7 points off Telford, we'd have took it straight away, and we've done that this season. We've achieved that. We beat you guys at our home. We've come close both games again, and that one we got blown away. But it's, as I said before, Col, if you don't turn up, you get beat, and that's what happened last night. But there's some. It's a tough league. It's a very tough league. I like the league. It's a real good league.
Yeah, we've got a good. The way the table's falling now, I mean, it's going to be a very competitive playoff competition as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I say, Sheffield won last night against Altrincham. Obviously, we've still got to find out what's happening between our last game against Sheffield when it got abandoned after the first period. So there's points there to be taken because there's no time we've got no ice to rearrange these fixtures. So. Our running's quite a difficult one. I think Bradford, they've got to play Blackburn twice, but they're no easy feat at the moment. They're doing quite well. They're on the up-and-coming side, so everybody can, anybody can beat anybody at the end of the day, and it's an enjoyable league.
I mean, I've enjoyed watching all the hockey this year. I mean, it's every team has its ups and downs, and last night, I mean, as you said earlier, discipline. We had such good discipline across the whole game. There was only a total of 8 minutes of penalty between the two sides.
Yeah,
and it's very rare you get that.
No, as I said, we've had quite a few games where it's been quite low on penalties and stuff. Apart from when you play Altrincham, but apart from that, there's usually been quite low on penalties. Obviously, depending what sort of referee you get and what state of mind is in for that particular night. But I think every game has been, especially for our side, it's been competitive. And as I say, we've got a good side. We have got a good side. We've got a good goaltender. We've got junior goalies coming through. So we're doing well. And they're enjoying it, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I mean that is an important one. I mean I've actually been enjoying a lot of our junior games, and it was a shame when I was living over in Hull I didn't get to see more of the juniors in Hull, and I've really enjoyed seeing what's been up and coming. And
I mean we've just we've done really well this year. We've got a lot to celebrate this year. We've especially with the Sharks and stuff. We've got 11 players who have been named for England. So they're all going to be playing in the other 13s, 14s, or 15s, and some are in the actual girls 13s and 16s. So it's been quite a good achievement for us. Our 15s, they went and played Sheffield yesterday, and they beat Sheffield at Sheffield, which was another massive result for us. So we are going in the right direction. The teams are doing really well. We have got a lot of players coming through. We've got a lot of under-9s now. It does take a lot of time and effort. We've got a good coaching staff, good committee. So we are going in the right direction, but I think it's how you use these players. And as I say, if they're going to get to 16 with the Jets, if they're at a certain standard, then they do get asked to play. And we had a few of them on last night. One of them, it was probably his first game, Owen the big defender.
Oh, right.
And he was a bit culture shocked with the speed and stuff, but he adjusted.
Yeah.
Made a few errors, but he's going to make everybody makes errors, and that's how you learn.
Yeah.
But it's good. And as I say, my boys, I'm proud as punch because my boys just made 13s England, so I'm proud as punch at the moment. So
yeah, I've got the list up here, and I can see a certain Ethan Daintith up there. So yeah, congratulations to him and all the others who were involved in this England international tournament that's going to be coming up soon.
Yeah, we're off to Turku in Finland. I coach 15s England, so I'm going out with the 15s. So we've got a good side. There's a lot of prospects coming through. So it's good. It's good. It's just tiring, but it's good. Very good.
It's why I think in the end, no matter how tiring it is, it's why we all get involved in hockey. We just enjoy it.
Oh, I love it, Col. I love all aspects of the junior, the senior and stuff. And that's what you waste your weekends for. Is travelling all over. People at work think I'm absolutely bonkers, but I travel all over. And I was in Coventry on Saturday, and I was in Widnes on the Sunday, and it's just a hockey part of life. And all hockey players will tell you it's the best time of your life is when you're playing.
Well,
when you're playing, especially the changing room banter and stuff like this.
I think, Barry, you can agree with that, can't you?
Yeah, it is. I don't know, you can have a bit of time off, but you don't just keep going back and back. It's in your blood, isn't it? When it's in your blood, it's in your blood.
Oh, absolutely. You get all ex-players who've come through like the junior rankings, and they're all playing like Elite League and EPL and all that, and playing for like the Pirates and stuff, and you still have great banter of all the times what you shared with them and where you went, and the fun that you had with them, and it's good to see, and it's nice to see. You never lose that banter with players, and make it continue, basically. Make it continue.
Yeah, well, we'll let you get on because, of course, you may not be training, but you'll have other preparations to do for this coming weekend when you play Coventry.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get the rink sorted out first before we go any further. So hopefully that'll get us sorted out this week. But no, it's as I say, it was a good game last night. Not from our standpoint, but it was a fast game, end to end. But we didn't play well. But we will relieve just, and we will come back. Obviously, we want to make the playoffs. That's our big goal. Where we finish in the playoffs, I don't know. I'm still waiting for the result against Sheffield, which is a massive waiting care for us. And then obviously we've got the remaining games. When we play them, we don't know, but we'll just keep buying and just keep trying. That's all you can do.
Well, from our point of view over here in Widnes, we look forward to seeing you when the playoff competition starts. Easter weekend.
Nice. And then it'd be nice to get a victory over you guys again, wouldn't it? That'd be nice.
Well,
all right, Paul.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Anytime, mate. You take care, boys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Anyway, we'll have a little bit more music. Bit of Queen. Okay, just your usual little reminder of all the social media connections that we have out there on the Hinderweb. Of course, all your stuff for your YKK Widnes Wild on widneswild.co.uk. If you want to check them out on Facebook and Twitter, it's Facebook or twitter.com/WidnesWild, or for the radio show /TTGW Radio, and the club's official Instagram, instagram.com/WidnesWildOfficial. And of course, our usual shout out to all of our valued sponsors. Our headline sponsor of YKK, Sprakes & Son of Widnes, DMH Tyres, Ruxton Electrical, CL Woodworking, Nails by Alicia, and of course our chosen charity this year, the Halton Haven Hospice. Barry, what's coming up in the next couple of weeks with the fixtures?
On Saturday the 9th of March, you've got Widnes Under-9s Cross Ice, and that's being held in D-side, and that's at 16:45. On the same day, in Widnes, you've got Widnes Under-13s playing Nottingham Under-13s, and that's a 10-7 face-off. Sunday the 10th of March, you've got Widnes Wild Women v MK Falcons, that's 5:30 face-off. Saturday the 16th of March, you've got Widnes Under-9s Cross Ice, that's being held in Telford, and that's at 4:20. You've also got Widnes Under-13s playing at home again. That's v Grimsby, and that's at 10-7 face-off. And then the big one, which is Sunday the 17th of March, you've got your Widnes Wild playing at home to Altrincham Aces, 5:30 face-off.
And of course, we've got a big competition coming up around Easter weekend, don't we, guys?
Yeah, well, I'll give this a shot, mate, but your handwriting is as bad as Doctor's. So we've got the Final Four weekend in Coventry, 13th, 14th of April. So it's D2 North versus D2 South League winners for the NHL 2 National Championship. And then we've got the big one for us, the playoff weekend, Planet Ice Widnes, 20th, 21st of April. Obviously don't know who's going to be in that one yet, but I'm assuming, well, we know we're there, aren't we, Sid?
Yes.
And then there is a TV game as well, coming up as well. So Wednesday, the 20th of March, on Free Sports, we've got Glasgow Clan v Cardiff Devils, 7:30 face-off.
Oh, so a bit of extra television stuff there. And, plenty of stuff coming up in the coming weeks with your hockey, which is really, really nice. Now, a couple of quick newsy items that we've spotted on the old Hinderweb. And first one, which was mentioned a few moments ago when we were chatting with Andy Daintith from the Hull Jets, is the English national team programme. They've got 5 squads selected that will travel into Europe in April. They're going to be going across to, Finland, Slovakia and Belgium in different points around April. And there was an under-13s boys, under-13s girls, under-14s boys, under-15s boys and under-16s girls teams, all involved in different tournaments around that time. So that's great for the kids, a bit of extra international experience for them all, isn't it? It's good news.
Yeah, I never got anything like that with any sports I did.
So
I need to go back and change sports.
Yeah, so there you go. And another one, of course, we have the AAHF World Championship tournament up in Dumfries, the 2nd to the 8th of April. And our GB Women's squad will be taking part, and they've been doing some preliminary work and preliminary games. So they're looking forward to that one. All details, of course, are on the EIHA website, eiha.co.uk. Well, we've got about a fair while to chat about what's been going on. And one thing that was picked up on is, of course, the winners of the D2 North play the winners of D2 South at the final weekend in Coventry. And we'll just call up the table. It's an interesting selection of who's available for that, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 4 teams, haven't we? So Oxford, Solent Devils, Chelmsford, Chieftains, Slough Jets, and they are absolutely together.
Yeah.
There's just no splitting these 4 up.
Yeah. I mean, even balancing games in hand, it's tough to try and see who's going to win that league at the moment.
Even at the most, you've only got 2 games in hand.
I mean, when you look, Slough Jets have only lost 2 games all year. So have Solent, in fact, and so have Oxford. So yeah, and then you've got Chelmsford, who've had 2 defeats and 2 overtime defeats in the entire season. That is, and I think the 2 overtimes are against Slough. If my interpretation's right, but it's gonna be a tough game. Whoever the D2 North winners get to play.
When you get to that point, though, it's a tough game, no matter who you're going to end up playing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the fact that there's no blowout runaway winner in that league. It's a serious 4-way battle now. I've seen Chelmsford in the past. I've seen Slough back in the old British National League. I've seen Chelmsford in the old English Premier League. And they're tough teams to play against. Always have been and always will be. Solent and Oxford are unknowns for me. So if anyone has any information on them, answers on a postcard, please. As they used to say.
They've only lost 2 all season, mate. They've played to everyone.
But yeah. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting fixture when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, I really would like to get down to that one.
Yeah.
So I'll say if we get there. Before
Yeah. Well,
someone shouts at us.
Well, yes. People will still shout at us, but as we said at the weekend, 1 point. We need 1 point at the moment to secure that title.
And it could be at home against Alty.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lively game. We can guarantee it, can't we, Barry?
You're still going to have to go out there, though, because ultimately you're going to want to do everything you can to stop us getting it, aren't you? Well, every team we come across. It's everyone wants to beat Widnes, especially with the size of our crowd. And
yeah. And it was a good crowd last night, especially on account of the fact you had the Liverpool Everton Merseyside derby.
And not only that, you had Widnes as well, yeah.
Oh yes, Widnes Vikings were playing at home. Still got a good turnout, noisy crowd. It's one of those things though. When we were in Altrincham the other week, I mean, the Aces came out absolutely flying in the first period, didn't they? You know, they were right at one point. They were right on top of us for a fair portion of the first period.
You still heard our fans over there, though. I mean, it's just our travelling support as well as our home support, though, isn't it? It's that extra man, that little lift you need when.
Oh, it is something special. You know, the way in which everyone's got behind the team. You know, over the seasons. You know, it's
Widnes has always been behind all its teams, though, hasn't it? If you follow right back through the rugby, they've not really had a big football team. They have now, but I'll guarantee they'll get the same again. Widnes is a small town, and a lot of people back the teams that are in it, because at the end of the day, you're out there on the ice, putting your heart and soul out there for the town that these people live in, and for players who come from far and wide, their family and friends. They follow them everywhere they go. So,
I mean, I've been Bradford a couple of times with Widnes, and you know, obviously we always know we take a lot, but when you actually see the amount of spectators there for the Bradford game, and you're going out after the game, and there's 10 times as many queuing to get in for the public skate session as there was watching it. It's soul destroying when you see that. It's what makes Widnes really special, I think. It
does. I mean, for myself, I live in Southend, Liverpool, but in a way, I live nearer to Widnes than I do to Liverpool city centre in many ways. It's easier for me to go to Widnes. And I spend a lot of time going through that way. I also have work over in that direction. But it's just something that I've enjoyed coming to watch and been part of and seeing grow and grow. Hence doing the show. It's all for the club. It's just what we do, as we said before, you know, so people who play, it's in their blood, and supporters, it gets in their blood, and they just keep coming, and we all thank them, don't we?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, you know what I'm like. You could cut me open, bleed Widnes through and through.
Yeah.
Whether I'm on the ice or sat watching Matt do his acrobatics, I'm happy wherever I am, as long as I'm part.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
I mean, you know, sadly, you were part of the original Widnes team, in a manner of speaking, the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was the first team to come out with Widnes before the league team actually started. I started with the Wildcats. I think I was playing with the Raiders as well. And,
yeah, I do remember you in a Raiders shirt.
Yeah, massive one. Someone over-ordered that, oversized my order. Lucky I wasn't out there for speed.
Well, before we came on air, Andy, you came up with some trivias. Yes. Some interesting trivias.
Well, one from which, you know, with what went on last night with Hull losing the keeper, and, you know, the unfortunate where they had to put the 16-year-old in, who I felt so sorry for when they were already so far down, taking some of their shots last night. But he did well. But I didn't know if a team loses both keepers, the rules actually state they can get anyone to fill in for them, even a member of the crowd.
Nice.
So if anything ever happens, we just need to go and grab Shutty out the box or something. We can throw him in net for a bit.
So actually, Barry, sometimes it might be handy for you to not dress but be in the crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just imagine that in the National Hockey League in North America. There you are. You've gone over on holiday, for example, Barry. There you are in the crowd. You're at an NHL game. Both keepers get injured. They need someone to go in the goal, and the announcement goes out. What would you do?
This has happened. I'd get in there, me. You know what I mean? Get in there, a few backflips, and be on it. But this has actually happened to someone in. I'm sure it was the Devils, and he used to turn up with kit every week, just in case anything happened, and he actually got picked because the keeper was injured, and he threw him in for the last few minutes or something like that. I remember, what an experience.
I remember in Vancouver with the Canucks a number of years ago. They were on the phone because their backup was it their starter was hurt. And their main backup they wanted was away when they were they were partnered with Manitoba Moose at the time, and they couldn't get Alex Auld back in because the Moose were over the other side of North America. So they've contacted the local college, and they were trying to get this lad who was in the library studying. It's a case of, you're not answering your phone. The Canucks are trying to draft you for tonight.
Buck should have gone out the window for me there.
Yeah. As soon as he found out, he was straight there. But yeah, it's a remarkable thing. Go on, what's your next one?
Well, we've got a good one because obviously we get some great goals, some great performances. But there is actually only one time the ultimate sort of feat of goals has been achieved in one night. And so in the single game, a certain player scored even strength, scored on a power play, scored short-handed, they scored a penalty shot, and they scored an empty net goal with a second to go.
It's all right, Stu Brittle,
So yeah, that's Mario Stubrittle Lemieux of Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, at least that's one thing he has over Wayne Gretzky then.
That's pretty much one. I think, what is it, 68 records he holds or something?
Something mad, but there you go. That's one that Wayne Gretzky can't take off him.
I know even if you took his goals, the points for his goals out, he would still have more points than, I think, 95% of players just off assists. Something ridiculous.
Oh, dear.
And, yeah, just one more quick one. Well, Pucker's representatives in here that Pittsburgh, it's not all about Pittsburgh, it's just what we found today. But they actually had a live penguin mascot. And they used to bring him onto the ice. He was called Slapshot Pete.
Oh, there you go. Hence why Slapshot is their mascot.
I got told off at Chester Zoo for taking one with me, so I'm not allowed to do that again.
Gotta get him in the bottom of the bag, they can't see him though.
Yeah, Pucker's. How is Pucker doing these days? We haven't seen him so much, but we know he's around.
Oh, he's around. He's excited for the playoffs, and
yeah.
That's going to be something big coming out the hat there. But let's just keep it at that. And if you want to see it turn up, buy your tickets. Oh, it's bigger than the quad.
Oh, you know to go and get your playoff tickets no matter where you are listening. Get those playoff tickets for the playoff final weekend in Planet Ice Widnes.
If you just want to see a 6-foot penguin go crazy on a motorised vehicle.
That's worth just the entry fee alone. Trust us, that is worth the entry fee. Well, looking at the way the season's gone, again, I'm going back to Andy Dainty, who was saying the form that the Jets have had against Telford. They've had, was it 7 points out of 8 off Telford Tigers, and they're actually the team that Widnes have had the toughest time against. They've only got 2 points all season off Tigers.
It just goes to show you, though, doesn't it? Depending on how you're turning up to the game. If you could turn up with consistency every single game in exactly the same manner, then yeah. But every single person that turns into Widnes wants to turn us over. Whether we're home or away, they want to stop us dead in our tracks. I mean, Telford did, unfortunately, but not through lack of trying. Everyone put their all out there. I wasn't there, but
it was a fight of a game. It was one of the. I'll say it was untidy, but it was untidy in the fact that both teams were scrapping away for the points, and rather than it being an open flowing game. So it was a very different type of game. But yeah, both teams wanted it. Both teams went out for it. It was just the way things turned out in the end, in my perspective.
Plus, as well, with this sport, more than any, there's so many variables involved with it.
Yeah.
I mean, only last night, I think the start of the third, the puck got stuck on a bit of wet ice when Hull were about to go, and we ended up going through and didn't score on that one. But, there's 2 or 3 times out, and I think someone managed to hit the ref last night.
Someone hit one of the lines, women, in front of me as well. Oh. You did it.
Oh. Well, I mean, they do have a tough job. They do. The liners and the rest.
I thought last night I thought it was brilliant. Both Susters and it was Andrews and
it was Faye Andrews and Lorne Beresford.
Yeah, I thought spot on.
Oh,
yeah, because first thing she said to us, she came into the box to see everyone, and she apologised for the carnage of the other week and said she'd try and stop it happening again.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a tough job. In fact, they asked me at one point about could they, at the end of the game, could they just have a look at one particular incident? It happened so quick they couldn't see it. I don't think it was actually properly caught on the camera because of where players were positioned and how the shot was being done. And it's a case of that's the nature of the sport. It's so quick, but at least we have the option in Widnes of having a video as well, which is really useful.
I think one of the fans moved just in time last night. A puck come right over the glass, over the away bench. Oof. And I just heard the ooh.
It was a good night with pucks-wise for us, because I think a couple of games before we've gone through about 5 or 6 in the night. So we only lost 1 last night. So
that's got Gracie's name wrapped around it now with the date on it. And a piece of someone's water bottle.
Oh, bless him. Yes, he'll live off that goal for the rest of the season. But, well, we're almost out of time for another week. Goodness me, where's the time gone? Well, we get a week off. Well, some do, some don't. I've got juniors and women's this coming weekend. So, yes, we've got an under-13s game and a wild women's game this weekend. So, don't forget there's still plenty of action going on down at Planet Ice Widnes this coming weekend. And, of course, around the rest of the country, there's still lots of hockey to be played.
I'm away rallying next week, back to my old haunts. So.
Oh, where are you off to?
We're off to Grisdale, just above Coniston, where it's currently snowing.
Oh, lovely.
So that's going to be an interesting one.
Ah.
I'm away down in the lakes this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so should be a bit of a chill.
Oh, nice unwind, ready for Altrincham the following weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one, that one.
That is going to be. So if you are having a week away from the sport, have a nice relax. And those of you who want to make sure you come for a cracking game, get yourself down to Planet Ice Widnes for the game against the Altrincham Aces on the 17th of this month.
I'm sure there's not many playoff tickets left now, is there? Isn't it below the 100?
Well, and also, either way, check out your playoffs. Get your tickets. It's going to be a thriller, no matter where it's held.
Even if your team's not there, buy a ticket anywhere. Come down. The atmosphere at Widnes is...
Have a party.
So,
have a party.
Cheer on Widnes.
Anyway, thanks guys for coming in.
Cheers, Cole.
Cheers.
And I shall sign off. Wish you all well. Catch you all soon. I'm back on Thursday from 9 o'clock with my usual route of musical mayhem. But we're going to play out with a tribute to the Prodigy, after the latest news that you may have heard online.